The reason why Cade Cunningham is able to score against anybody is not because he's a big guard, and if somebody told you that, they're lying. It's actually because there's one reason. Watch this play, right? Notice when Cade Cunningham comes off the screen, right? When he decides to slow down, watch his defender. They slow down too. But when he decides to speed up, watch Jaylen Brown. He decides to speed up. And when he changed pace, he ends up drawing a foul. But he understands that the defense also goes at the pace that he goes. So now when he goes against even possessions where people put pressure on him, like his defender right here, he still understands that same concept. That a defender only goes as fast as you go. They react to what you do. And he understands that. And he doesn't let the speed they go impact the speed that he goes. And he just manipulates them. So now at this point, when he even comes off a screen like this, you're like, okay, he's able to go and attack and score through contact because he's a big guard. Well, guess what? Cade is 6'6", 220. Meanwhile, Josh Minot is 6'5", 6'8", 205. So when he even comes off the screen, you got to understand that the reason he's able to go through this contact is not because he's so much bigger than everybody. It's because two things. One, functional strength for basketball, being able to physically have the right strength for basketball, and two, understanding perspective and ratio. You could score against people who are around your similar size if you have that functional strength. So it's not always about being big, but it's more so about being functional and being wise. Now let's keep breaking them down. Mind you, with functional strength, you could also score against people who are bigger than you. But if you want to be able to get past anybody, this is what I want to now break down, right? Utilize this. What you're going to see here from Cade, right? He's going to end up getting this pass from Holland and watch, right? Holland ends up setting the screen. He ghost slips this. And now I want you to look at the spacing of the floor. You have one teammate, two teammates, three teammate, fourth teammate, all to Cade Cunningham's left side. And now this means the whole right side of the floor is wide open. Ghost screens and switching the spacing of the floor in the middle of possessions is going to allow you to be able to get open drives to where you don't even have to think about going to attack the rim. Now Cade goes and he's able to get there and get a layup. Why? Because he attacked at the right times. Continue to watch these next possessions. Watch, pay attention. Pump fake, Holland, cut through. Now watch, Cade sizing up. And what does he realize? He has a whole teammate right here sitting in the corner, right? Green, right? He has him sitting in the corner, one, and two, he's listed as a non-shooter. So usually there's no strong side corner help, but since he's a non-shooter, Simons is going to help in the strong side corner, right? So Cade recognizes this, and what does Cade tell him to do, right? Pay attention. Watch what Cade tells him to do. Get out, right? Holland already knew to get out, so he told him now to get out, and now boom, he ghost screens that again. He just hip taps, and now Cade goes left, and guess what Simons does? Goes to double, because what happened? Green is a non-shooter, right? So what ends up happening? He kicks to Green. Green swings that, swing there. Now to Holland. Holland in that corner. He attacks the closeout. They don't have many shooters, but he's able to go and get that lay. He utilized another ghost screen to create a play, right? To create a shot. Now pay attention to this again. Again, boom, slips out screen right there by LeVert. So what does that now do for Cade Cunningham? Right in the corner, you got Duncan Robinson now, and Jaylen Brown is not going to leave Duncan Robinson in the strong side corner. You have to know your personnel for your team if you want to be able to get buckets. And that's what I teach in the DOR community. Hit the link in the description so you can be able to learn things like that for your team so you could actually get buckets and triple your scoring average. So what Cade Cunningham now does is that he attacks this lane and now he's able to draw a foul because the help defender is late, and now he's able to get to the line and get more points. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, how you could create your own isolation without even trying, right? It all begins with playing at a pace to where you could be able to read and know the floor without having to try so hard, right? So now understand, when Cade gets the ball, what is he looking for? He's looking for Duren because he understands the mismatch, and there's gravity within that. Not just from Walsh, not just from Brown, but also here from White, right? So when he's looking down at Jalen Duren, he has the ball above his head, his body is up, and so he's looking to see if he could get that, but guess what happens? He can't get the ball there, pump fake, and he turns this into isolation and drives, and he draws a foul and gets to the line, right? He leveraged the gravity of his teammates, so now he could be able to go and attack. Afterwards, once he realized there's nothing there. Keep watching. Now coming down here in transition, right? You got Cade with the ball, and notice his patience, right? He gets here, he sees two. He sees Jaylen Brown right there next to Walsh. So what does he let happen? Lets Harris cut through, and now what this now does is open up that free throw line elbow area for Cade now to actually get into his attack. Sees White, spins out of that, and now kicks it to Tobias Harris in the corner, who's wide open. Unfortunately, he airballs, but continue to understand the concept, right? He created a high-quality shot. Again, here in transition, Cade Cunningham gets the ball, he brings it down, and what does he let happen? You have Jalen Duren right here, right, running the rim. He lets him get down, he lets Walsh move, and now he's literally wide open. This all happens as a byproduct of patience. He ends up going down and engaging. He has two on him, hits a quick little move. Now he's wide open, and he gets to his elbow, and now he's able to boom, shoot right there. He just ends up missing the shot, right? Understand how he's developing high-quality looks. It's the principle that matters, not the result that matters. You got to catch the principle if you want to generate high quality shots that could lead to the probability of you scoring, because basketball is about probability and not perfection. So now when Cade Cunningham comes down again in transition, right, he has the ball, right, he has Derek White, turns his back, faces up, hits a couple of moves, and now boom, he's able to make a play, because everything he did here on this possession, he just stayed at a pace to where he could still be able to read the floor. He could still be able to control his moves. That's the key to playing smooth. You're able to play at a place where you can control your moves. That's how you play smooth. Remember that bar, right? So now, boom, he turns his back, spins again, faces up, boom, hits the cross. He could see Walsh. Now he kicks to Thompson. Thompson now is able to swing to Duncan Robinson. Robinson takes that three and knocks it down. If you want to play smooth, you got to move at a pace that you can control, right? Cade Cunningham again coming in transition. Watch what happens. And who I want you to pay attention now, right? Watch Stewart right here, right? Watch. This is so important. You got to let your rim protector or your rim runner actually run the rim before you go, because it's going to open a lot of space, right? This is really a gem. Playing in transition, right? Before you go, you get down to the wing. Let this big get down, right? Let this big get down, because now at this point, once your big is able to get in this block range, you can actually now begin to read this wing help defender. And since this is Duncan Robinson, right? Since that's Duncan Robinson, of course, he's going to stay attached, which means that there's no help defender in this area. This is strong side corner, no help defender here. So now Cade Cunningham really has all this room right here to be able to do whatever he wants to. He could even go out here and take a three if he wants to. He could do anything. This is practically a one-on-one, right? So at this point, understand, now he's able to get here, boom, bump, lay right there. He misses, right? Missed a good opportunity, but understand the principle. You got to catch the principle if you want to develop high-quality looks. Again, here, Cade Cunningham. Let's keep watching, right? Notice how he's going to utilize pace. He's just playing at a place that he can control, right? Watch. He gets the switch, right? Let's actually go back. Let's go back, right? He gets the switch right off that inbounds. And so once you face up, like I said, the key is now being able to read the wing defender, right? After you let your rim man, your 5-man, actually get down towards this baseline area, right? And so now watch what's going to happen with Simons. Watch what's going to happen. Simon steps over. So now as Cade walks down, he sees Simons literally loaded up on help on the nail. And so a lot of y'all players who watch this see this defender right here. Or actually, you probably don't even see this defender. You just get the ball right here and you just try to drive through this gap. You think this is a lane for you? That is not a lane for you. You're going to turn the ball over every time. Give the ball up to your teammate over here, right? Pass the ball. This is not a gap. I repeat, this is not a gap. This is not a gap. Do not try to attack this. And this is why you got to constantly continue to read the floor. Because if you think this is a gap right now, right, it may seem like it, but this player is actively moving, which is why you have to play at your own pace, right? This is why you have to play at your own pace. And so now what ends up happening, Cade walks down, and now when he actually walks down with pace, he sees Simon step over, boom, bounce pass to Ivy. Now Ivy's able to go and attack this closeout, and he's able to go and get this and one lay because Cade was just playing with patience, right? And so now continue to watch. Again, here, right, screen right there from Stewart, pay attention to the pace, right? Even when he gets down right here, he lets Stewart leave, and now he gets to that space on this left side, floats that right there, low-key smokes it, had a great look. But even when he gets the ball back, this is how you know he is able to actually court map. Because the second that he gets it, he knows Tobias Harris is wide open in that corner. So guess what? He kicks it to Tobias Harris and he's able to knock it down. So if you want to play smooth, you got to play at a pace where you can control all your moves. Remember that, right? And now I want to show y'all a couple more possessions of Cade Cunningham being able to play make. Off this missed shot right here by Pritchard, right? Pay attention to what Cade Cunningham does with his left arm and also what he does with his pace. Once again, this is how you play with control and how you play at your own pace in basketball, right? So now when he comes down, Jaylen Brown on his left side, he protects himself from Jaylen Brown and keeps Brown on his left side, keeps him on his hip. And so what this now does to the big right here, another defender, he's like, okay, if Jaylen Brown's on his side, that means I have to help him because he has a lane in front. And so as Cade Cunningham begins to engage, Garza steps up closer to the ball, and Duren continues to run the rim. And now he just hits Duren on his rim run, and he gets that dunk. So if you want to see it one more time, full speed, pay attention, right? Just notice, right? Jaylen Brown on that left side, Duren running the rim. Garza faces up. He's like, oh, shoot, I got to help out Brown. Boom, hits Duren right there on that rim run, dunk. Easy money, right? Next possession right here. Again in transition. This time, I just want you to notice Cade Cunningham's pace. Watch his pace. He gets the ball, and literally, this is transition. And he doesn't sprint up the floor. He doesn't sprint up the floor, and he doesn't change pace until he's at the three-point line. This is transition, by the way. Why did he take so long to pick up his speed? It's because you got to let everybody get to where they need to be. Mind you, this is another bar. You got to remember it, right? If you want, before you pick up your speed, you got to let everybody get to where they need to be. So Cade Cunningham comes down slow because at this point, guess where his teammates are, right? He's got Boom, Thompson right there, Dunk Robinson right there, Green right there, Stewart right there. Notice everybody's in a position where they are not a threat. Even Thompson, because he's at the three-point line, but he's a non-shooter, so he's not a threat right now. Everybody else is not a threat. Robinson half court, not a threat. So what is he going to do? He's going to wait for everybody to get to where they need to be before he picks up his speed. And so now, guess where everybody is? Guess where everybody is? Duncan Robinson, three-point line, he's a threat. Thompson, block, he's a threat. Green, corner, kind of a threat. Stewart, actively moving on his weak side, he's a threat because now you got Hauser who's ready to be engaged if possibly he comes here and sets a screen, right? So now everybody's a threat at this point. And so this is when Cade Cunningham decides to do what? He decides to pick up his speed, right? Boom, quick tween, he attacks. He has a corner cut, Euro steps. Stewart makes that cut as well from the top of the key, and now he drops it off, and he's able to get that assist, right? So remember, if you want to be able to play at your own speed, play at your own pace, you have to go at a speed you can control. And if you want to actually take your game to the next level, hit the link in the description, join the community so you can get more gems and more breakdowns like this. So discipline or regret, you choose.